Headlines of this hour on VTV News. Party and state leader visits Communist Party of China's Central Party School. And later on, Vietnam leads AI innovation in Southeast Asia, according to experts. And in our world news, over 121,000 evacuated from the KURSK region.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good afternoon. It is currently 3 p.m. local time and you're tuning into 30 minutes of VTV News. I'm Phie with the latest updates. Now, continuing his state visit to China on August the 20th, General Secretary and State President To Lâm visited the Central Party School of the Communist Party of China. More to follow.
Party General Secretary and State President To Lâm expressed his pleasure at visiting and exchanging ideas at the Central Party School of Communist Party of China, a prestigious institution with a long-standing tradition of training elite officials and state leaders. It plays an important role in promoting the party's ideals and theoretical research as a new type of high-level advisory organization. This school has also been led by Chinese high-ranking leaders. The Vietnamese leader highly appreciated the school's cooperation with its Vietnamese partners, especially the Ho Chi Minh National Academy of Politics, which has continuously engaged in diverse activities over the years, enriching theoretical achievements and strengthening cooperation between the two parties. He proposed that the Central Party School of Communist Party of China and the Ho Chi Minh National Academy of Politics continue to promote exchanges, research, and theoretical discussions on party building and state governance, as well as protecting ideological foundations. He requested the Central Party School of the Communist Party of China collaborate with Vietnam to exchange experiences in training and provide support in this field.
At noon local time, General Secretary and State President To Lâm and his spouse, along with a high-ranking delegation from the party and state of Vietnam, departed from the capital of Beijing, successfully concluding their state visit to China. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh chaired a government standing committee meeting on Tuesday morning to review 3 major law projects from the Ministry of Finance, including the law on management and investment of state capital in enterprises, the amended law on corporate income tax, and the amended law on special consumption tax. The meeting addressed key social issues of public concern, such as tax subjects and special consumption tax rates. To complete these law projects, the Prime Minister highlighted the need for decentralization, effective resource allocation, and strong monitoring mechanisms. The government aims to streamline procedures, reduce compliance costs, and improve oversight while adapting to new challenges. On Tuesday morning at its 36th session, the National Assembly Standing Committee reviewed a draft law to amend and supplement the law on technical standards and regulation. The committee stressed the need to align with party policies and Directive 38 on international economic integration. They also called for clearer responsibilities among agencies issuing standards to address inconsistent adjustments that raise compliance costs for businesses. The committee emphasized the need for a centralized approach using digital technology and avoiding overlaps with other laws. They encouraged ongoing consultation with experts, businesses, and social organizations. Additionally, the committee discussed a draft plan for monitoring policies on human resource development and utilization, focusing on high-quality talent. AI experts have highlighted Vietnam's leading role in AI innovation across Southeast Asia and beyond at the Gen AI Summit 2024. That is due to Vietnam's implementation of various policies to boost startups and technology investment, creating a supportive environment for AI companies to thrive and compete globally. Additionally, Vietnam has many advantages for developing AI thanks to its market, human resources, and startup ecosystem. Looking ahead, experts predict Vietnam will require an additional 100,000 AI specialists over the next 5 years. World sea freight rates have seen a notable decline across all major routes since July, according to the Vietnam Maritime Administration. The most substantial drop has been observed on the Asia to west coast of the U.S. and the European routes, with rates falling by approximately 20 to 30%. Other routes have also experienced reductions of 15 to 25%. This downward trend in freight costs is expected to continue and is likely to drive an increase in export volumes. Over the past 7 months, cargo throughput at Vietnam's seaports has surged to nearly 500 million tons, marking a 15% increase compared to the same period last year. Vietnam currently ranks 7th worldwide in coconut production. The signing of the protocol to officially export fresh coconuts to China is opening up opportunities for many localities. China needs about 4 billion coconuts annually for fresh consumption and processing, while the country's coconut output meets only 10% of this demand. Both farmers and businesses are now ready to officially export fresh coconuts to this market.
Upon learning that fresh coconuts will be officially exported to China, this enterprise has adjusted and enhanced its packaging process. Fresh coconuts from the raw material area now undergo 5 steps before being packaged for export.
For a long time, our production process has long aligned with Chinese partners' requirements, making the establishment of a factory code not too difficult. However, some adjustments will be necessary to fully comply with China's requirements.
With experience exporting fresh coconuts to Europe, this enterprise can meet China's requirements for raw material areas and packaging facilities. Additionally, the market offers various segments for businesses to fully exploit.
People also use hybrid coconuts, which are large in shape and have a high water content. Some places in Beijing use green Siamese coconuts. The standard is diamond-shaped coconuts.
We've established a concentrated commodity production area linked to the value chain. This organization connects people and cooperatives to meet customers' demands.
To boost coconut exports to China, many businesses have invested in organic coconut farms. Bến Tre province alone boasts over 7,000 hectares of certified organic coconuts. The coconut industry aims to export coconuts and coconut products worth more than $1 billion in 2024.
On Tuesday, a signing ceremony was held between the Vietnam Aviation Exhibition Joint Stock Company and domestic and international partners. This event marked the launch of the Vietnam Aviation TrainingMRO logistics program. The program aims to enhance collaboration among leaders, business owners, and organizations both within Vietnam and abroad in human resource training and aviation infrastructure development. At the same time, it will foster trade, business partnerships, and advanced training and repair services. Additionally, the initiative will boost trade, promote Vietnamese aviation brands, and facilitate the adoption of cutting-edge technology from global sources, addressing the industry's human resource needs from 2025 to 2030. Now, before we move on, let's have a look at the exchange rate between the Vietnam dong and some world currencies in today's market. Coming up next on VTV News. Dien Giang reinforces coastal dike to combat erosion. And later on, Lacson supports ethnic people in live stream selling. Welcome back to VTV News Live. Now in Tianjiang province, a series of measures have been implemented to protect coastal dikes and prevent erosion. The most notable achievement has been the construction of wave-dissipating dikes along the Gokong coastline. Since the dike's completion, erosion has ceased, providing reassurance to local residents and boosting agricultural productivity.
Located close to the sea, the 3-hectare stream farming area is no longer at risk of erosion. This is due to the 5-kilometer wave-dissipating dike installed as part of the Gokong Coastal Dike Upgrade project. The project has brought significant relief to local farmers, including Hung.
We have been able to have peace of mind ever since the dikes were built. Our concerns related to agricultural production, landslides and coastal erosion have been alleviated. We have combated coastal erosion for years before these dikes were built. Sometimes dozens of meters of land were worn down. Luckily, it's no longer as frequent. We can plant our crops without worry, especially sea farming.
15 years ago, Tianjiang province renovated a 16-kilometer stretch of coastal dike and constructed approximately 8 kilometers of protective dikes at the most vulnerable sections. In 2021, the government supported the construction of about 9 kilometers of hollow concrete dikes along the Gokong coastline.
These dikes have proven successful, significantly reducing wave impact and promoting sediment accumulation. Monitoring data indicates sediments build up ranging from 0.5 to 0.7 meters in some areas. Certain locations have been substantial growth of mangrove and other coastal vegetation.
The Gokong coastal dike can withstand storms up to Category 8 and 9 and effectively mitigate the impact of high tides and strong coastal winds during the rainy season. The project safeguards approximately 43,000 hectares of farmland, benefiting around 600,000 households in Jiaogao district.
In recent years, landslides have become a severe threat to residents in the mountainous areas of Guangdong province. Dozens of high-risk sites have been identified, endangering the lives and property of hundreds of households. Take a look.
In Donglam village, Dukhua commune, a landslide of over 2,500 cubic meters occurred in 2020, blocking a major roadway. While Tuyinhua district relocated some families from the area, many still reside beneath large, unstable slopes, living with the constant uncertainty of when another landslide might strike.
We live in constant anxiety about the arrival of flood season.
The mountainous district of Tuyinhua and Minghua in Guangdong are home to over 50 landslide-prone areas, covering approximately 40 hectares and affecting nearly 500 households. Both districts are working on various measures to address the risk ahead of the upcoming rainy season.
We have reported to the Provincial People's Committee requesting the deployment of geological monitoring measures and the development of relocation solutions.
In the long run, we are directing local authorities to review available land plots and develop long-term relocation areas. We are consulting with the Provincial People's Committee and competent authorities to move this plan along.
Although the district of Tuyinhua and Minghua have established several resettlement areas, many residents continue to live precariously on cliff faces and steep slopes. Landslides remain a constant concern for the mountainous district in Guangdong province.
Ganplong district in Guangdong province was hit by 3 consecutive earthquakes Tuesday morning, occurring within a span of just 5 minutes. The quake's magnitudes range from 3.0 to 3.3, with a depth of 8.1 kilometers. The strongest quake, measuring 3.3, caused minor shaking in Ganplong and surrounding areas, but there was no immediate risk of natural disasters. Since the start of the year, Ganplong has recorded a total of 249 earthquakes with magnitudes of 2.5 or higher. These quakes are categorized as stimulated, and the Institute of Geophysics continues to monitor and assess the region's seismic activity. After more than 7 months of construction on Monday, the National Power Transmission Corporation, along with the Northern and Central Power Projects Management Boards, in coordination with related units, completed the energization of 2 important component projects of the 500 kilovolt Circuit 3 line project. The project runs from Quảng in Quảng Bình to Phố Nối in Hưng Yên. More on the 3-line project in this next story.
The Quỳnh Lưu, Thanh Hóa and Nam Định 1 thermal power plant Phố Nối sections are 2 of the 4 key components of the 500 kilovolt Circuit 3 line project that have been completed and energized. This reduces the load on existing 500 kilovolt lines and provides system backup.
Energizing the Nam Định 1 Phố Nối section connects the power grid from Thanh Hóa to Nam Định and from Quỳnh Lưu, Thanh Hóa to Quảng Trạch. This enhances the power reserve for the 500 kilovolt grid, improves power supply from the north-central region to the north, and ensures stable supply to meet future demand in the north.
With a length of 519 kilometers through 9 provinces, the Thanh Hóa Nam Định 1 thermal power plant section energized on June 30th. The 500 kilovolt Circuit 3 line project is nearing completion.
We have completed 3/4 of the project. The remaining part is the 500 kilovolt Quảng Trạch to Quỳnh Lưu power line. We are working diligently to finish the project in line with the Prime Minister's directives.
Once completed, the 500 kilovolt Circuit 3 line will boost interregional transmission capacity from 2,200 megawatts to about 5,000 megawatts, adding over 20 billion kilowatt hours of electricity supply to the north annually.
Live streaming on social media platforms has become one of the most effective ways to sell agricultural products, particularly for people in remote areas. This method allows sellers to interact directly with customers at any time and from anywhere without being restricted to a specific customer base. Many localities are now focusing on training and supporting people in digital sales skills. The following story was recorded in Lạng Sơn province, where over 82% of the population belongs to ethnic groups.
Using local agricultural products, VTV4, a Thai woman, has established a processing cooperative that increases the value of agricultural products by up to 10-fold. Apart from creating jobs for many ethnic women, she also teaches them live stream skills. I myself have been running a Shopee store for 2 to 3 years. My current revenue is $1,000 to $1,400 per month.
As small businesses begin to utilize digital platforms, especially small businesses, small cooperatives, and ethnic groups like us, live streaming on digital platforms have become extremely important.
It is currently the main harvest season for Chi Lang custard apples. The estimated output of custard apples is about 24,000 tons, about 2,000 tons more than last year, possibly generating about $32 million in revenue. The application of digital transformation in product consumption over the past 2 years have yielded the practical results, which include live stream sales, the creation of online stores, faster promotion of key products to consumers, and increased consumer trust. Lạng Sơn currently has more than 21,000 products on e-commerce platforms, ranking second nationwide. More than 93% of agricultural households have undergone digital skills training. People have become more confident in promoting homegrown agricultural products using new methods.
Coming from a family with a tradition of working in the sea, Võ Văn Khánh from Thạnh Phú District, Bến Tre Province, has embarked on a completely new career, making models of boats and typical southern Vietnamese houses. Thanks to social networks, his unique creations have gained widespread support, and orders are increasing day by day.
This small pond is where Khánh checks the houses he has created. From raft houses and steel houses to boats and canoes, all are available. With the initial desire to recreate his grandmother's, Khánh now diligently crafts memories for customers near and far. Some models can be completed in a single session, while others require days or even weeks to finish.
There are probably about 100 model houses and 300 boats. I made most of these products by hand.
From a photo sent by a customer, a model is made. From sketches, a finished product is still created. Without going to school, and even without a formula in books, Khánh had to explore, learn, and experiment a lot, using customer photos or sketches.
The most difficult part of this house is the initial details. If I want my product to have a soul, the color scheme must be similar to the old, mossy and rusty look. I'm used to making them now.
Seeing her son's passion and the community support, Mười actively participates in activities to encourage him.
He asked me to make this boat, so I did. Based on my experience living by the sea, he did this one, so I'm proud of my son.
Now it is both a passion and an income for me. I work hard so that older generations can remember the old days.
Coming up next in our world news. Over 121,000 evacuated from the KURSK region. And later on, airlines suspend flights as the Middle East tension rises. Now moving on to our world news, more than 121,000 civilians have been safely removed from 9 border districts in the KURSK region. The Russian Emergencies Ministry said on Monday that a total of 174 temporary shelters are operating across 24 regions in Russia, housing about 10,000 people. Meanwhile, 390 more temporary shelters with a capacity to accommodate over 19,000 people are prepared to receive the evacuees from the KURSK region in 57 different territories throughout Russia. Since Ukraine's military incursion into Russia's KURSK region on August the 6th, the Russian National Anti-Terrorism Committee has rolled out measures to ensure civilian safety and counterattacks, including temporary relocation. Concerns over a wider conflict in the Middle East have prompted international airlines to suspend flights to the region or avoid affected airspace. Germany's Lufthansa Group on Monday extended its suspension of flights to Tel Aviv, Tehran, Beirut, Amman, and Erbil until August the 26th. The group will also avoid Iranian and Iraqi airspace during this period. Other airlines have rescheduled flights due to fears of escalation in the Middle East. U.S. carrier Delta extended the suspension of flights between New York and Tel Aviv until August the 31st. Additionally, Air France, KLM, EasyJet, Cathay Pacific, and Air India have announced flight suspensions over the same concern. U.S. Democrats kicked off their 4-day national convention on Monday in Chicago. They quickly united behind Vice President Kamala Harris, who will be running for office following the withdrawal of President Joe Biden. Keynote speeches will run through Thursday, focusing on urgent matters that Vice President Kamala Harris needs to address in her election campaign. Vice President Kamala Harris is scheduled to address the convention on its last day, demonstrating the Democratic Party's determination in the race against former President Donald Trump. In addition, Democrats will also adopt the party's 2024 platform at their convention, a document that addresses the federal minimum wage raise, minimum income tax credits, corporate tax increases, clean energy, and reproductive rights.
When we fight, we win.
A Norwegian mountainside is poised to tumble into the sea, potentially causing a devastating tsunami. Despite this alarming risk, residents near one of the world's most monitored areas remains unfazed. That is thanks to a national landslide early warning service that has been in place since 2013. More to follow.
The Akerneset mountain in western Norway,
covered in green moss and shrubs, has been slowly sliding for decades. Its eastern flank loses up to 10 centimeters a year. Geologist Lars Harald Blikra has been monitoring this movement for nearly 2 decades. Because of the lurking danger, Akerneset is one of the most monitored mountains in the world. A battery of GPS and topographic instruments on the surface and sensors deep inside its entrails measure its every movement in order to sound the alarm if necessary.
The entire mountainside is loose and moving, which can create quite a large collapse that can go into the fjord and create large tsunamis. We're talking about many tens of meters of tsunamis.
Here we are about 30 to 40 meters above the sea level. It is certain that if the wave reaches 90 meters, we will be underwater. But we cannot live constantly with this idea in mind, otherwise we no longer live.
According to geologists, the mountainside will not plunge into the fjord without warning. The main break is expected to be preceded by signs that should provide enough time to evacuate people from the area. All emergency plans are in place, and each authority knows its role when the time comes.
Evacuating thousands of people from a small area due to a landslide risk is a mayor's nightmare scenario.
The population is regularly updated on developments. When it happens, we can use SMS geolocation services as well as the internet, Facebook, and TikTok to alert people. Meanwhile, atop Akerneset, experts are considering ways to delay the inevitable.
And now, before we say goodbye, let's have a look at the weather forecast. And that is all that we have for this hour on VTV News. To rewatch our program, you can visit our website, our YouTube channel, or download a mobile app VTVgo for more. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.